What's going on, my trainer club? I'm going to bring you something today that I am super excited about to teach you about that is hopefully going to help you out get some shiny shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, have you got yourself a shiny shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go? And if so, how long did it take you? I can't wait to see all the posts below, which shiny shadow Pokemon you have. Very curious about this because today I got some information and I super appreciate everybody that has brought this to me to help you guys out try to get these shiny shadow Pokemon in a more strategic and easier manner, which is going to be on a timely basis because there is a chance that at some point this is going to be patched. So once you see this video, make sure to share it to somebody that needs a shiny shadow Pokemon or some of your Pokemates and get out there and do this as fast as possible because I do believe at some point it's going to be time sensitive, but I wanted to help you guys out before that happens. So let's get into it right now. Starting off, we're going to go over the strategy, which then is going to lead us into some of my data collection so you guys can see this theory in practice. And also I'm going to highlight a couple people that actually have used it and have gotten the shiny shadow Pokemon from using it. So I know everybody's on the edge of their seats right now. This is going to be super hype. So starting off, we want to understand what the Team Rocket leaders do. So they pop up, I don't know exactly when they pop up, I would think around 6 a.m. and the leaders do not move positions as do Rocket stops. They stay set fixed at one of the areas, and then they're going to go all the way until what I believe to be 10 p.m. is going to be the cutoff. They're going to expire, and then the Rocket leaders are shut off for the night, similar to raids, but just a little bit more extended period, and then they're going to show up in different stops in the next day. So fully to maximize this, you're going to have to understand that you have to fight and beat the Team Rocket leaders. So you're going to have to save up 6 of the radars, you're going to have to find one, and then you're going to have to fight it. Once you fight it and you beat it, you are then going to have the encounter possibility to get a shiny shadow Pokemon. And once you get into that screen, what you are going to do if it is not a shiny shadow Pokemon is you are going to run from it. And a lot of you guys may be thinking, why would I run from a shadow Pokemon? Here it goes. This is going to be why you run, because you want to then re-encounter it later in the day. Because like I said before, these Rocket leaders are fixed at a stop. Unlike the raids where they expire after 5 minutes, these leader encounters will give you the possibility to encounter even if you don't have another radar saved up right when you get to the Pokestop and you click into it, regardless of what time you come back. But the crucial thing is they do get re-rolled after a certain amount of time until an hour and a half after you've encountered that Pokemon. So let's say you did it and started at 7 a.m. You beat a Rocket leader. It wasn't a shiny. You're going to run from it. You're going to come back at around 8:30. You're going to click on that Pokestop, even if you don't have a Rocket radar, because it's going to still be there, and you're going to get kicked in there and you're going to get a re-encounter of that Pokemon, which chances are they're going to change the CP because it's going to be a different Pokemon. And with that CP change, that means it's a completely new encounter interaction. So you're going to be able to potentially get the shiny shadow Pokemon again. And if you keep doing this throughout the day, it's going to be a build-up of chances of trying to click through without having to beat 6 Rocket leaders, get the radar, and then go and fight this again. Because you ran from that Pokemon, you didn't throw a ball at it, that Rocket leader has been beat for you for the day, which virtually leaves the stop open to re-encounter to have a different CP and another shiny potential. So if you do go back and you see the same CP, which did happen to me one time when I was doing it with Cliff for the shiny Stantler potential in the shadow form, I went back under an hour and it was the same exact CP. So all you have to do is make sure the CP changed from the original one. What I would suggest is taking screenshot of the first one, then you come back, re-encounter the next one. If the CP has changed, take a screenshot and it's not shiny, and then come back in an hour and a half. So preferably you'd be doing this at a Rocket stop that's somewhere close to you so you can have access through the day. And the reason why I told you that this may get patched at some point, because the raid system, you used to be able to come back to a raid and encounter it throughout the entire raid time. Now it's only set to 5 minutes. So I want you guys to get out there and do this as soon as possible. Try to re-encounter these throughout the day, because at some point they're probably going to patch this, but I wanted to make you guys aware of this because there's no other way for me to make you guys aware of this than make a video on this. So get out there and do this in practice. So just to show you guys that this actually does work, I did it throughout the day yesterday, and I also have done it today as well, and I've been encountering different CP Pokemon, which means the Pokemon is getting completely re-rolled. And if the Pokemon CP is getting re-rolled, that means you have a potential to get a shiny as well. So this is the theory. We're going to check out what I have encountered yesterday on multiple different Pokemon so you guys can see the CP being changed, which would then mean we have a shiny potential to get. Starting off, the first leader that I beat was Cliff, and I encountered a CP Stantler at 4:42 at 12:03 p.m., which is just about noon. I then came back at 12:52 to recheck this Stantler, and it was still 442. However, I then came back at 2:44 p.m. to check the same exact Stantler. As you guys see, is all I do is click into the stop, and the CP was different. It was going to be 466, which means it got a CP reroll, which means that it got a potential to get another shiny chance. And then I came back again at 4:23 p.m. to the same exact stop, and I got another shiny Stantler encounter potential, 434, which is going to be a different CP than the other two. And then we came back at 7:14 p.m. and we encountered a 454, which is different than the 434 we encountered at 423. And finally, I came back at 9:09 p.m. for a 459, which means all the Stantlers that I re-encountered were different. 459, 454, we had 434, and then we also had the 466 as well as 442, which is 5 different CP rerolls throughout the entire day, which means each one of those with the reroll had a shiny potential reroll as well, which any of those could have been a shiny as well. Secondly, I wanted to test this theory with another Pokemon, so I went ahead and beat Arlo during the exact same time frame. So at 2:39, I encountered a Shadow Bagon 225 CP. I was playing throughout the day, so I was able to come back at 4:37 p.m., re-encounter this same stop. As you see, it kicks me right in, and I had a 227 encounter, which is different than the 225. I then came back a little bit later on because I was editing and everything yesterday at 9:16 p.m., re-encounter the stop. As you see, it kicks me right in there for a 224 encounter, which means my Bagons 224, 225, and 230 throughout the entire day. After analyzing the re-encounters, you saw that every so often, which appeared to be after an hour and a half, because I did do the one cliff under an hour and it was the same CP, which means that every time it was going to be a re-encounter. So if you do this and at the last one of the day, which is going to be before 10 p.m., you do not get a shiny, I suggest that you just catch that shadow Pokemon, because if you don't, which I did not yesterday, I came back at 10:30 to check again and these stops were no longer in existence, which for me then shows me that 10 p.m. was the cutoff time, because at 9:15 I checked, 10:30 they were gone. So I'm assuming it's either 9:30 or 10 p.m. and the shadow stops are cut off. Depending on where you are in the world, like maybe Japan, they go a little bit longer, but for here in the US, that's definitely going to be the time frame, which all these collections that we just looked at were yesterday during the event. I wanted to do it just to really hone in on what the time frames are for trying out for the shiny potential Absol. Starting off at 11:47 a.m., we encountered a Shadow Absol at 548 CP. We re-encountered it at 12:08 just to see what the time frame was going to be, which it did not change. But then I came back at 1:30 p.m. and it was changed to 539, which means the CP got rerolled, which means the shiny potential also got rerolled. I then re-encountered the same one just to test it at 2:11 p.m. and it was still 539. Next we came back at 2:30 p.m. just to check to see if it would reset within an hour time frame, and it was still the same at the 539 CP. Next we came back at 3 o'clock to check to see the difference, and the CP was 539. However, we then re-encountered it at 3:01 p.m. and the CP changed to 522, which is going to signify that the hour and a half is exactly the window from when you encounter it. It can't be from when you first encounter it. It's literally each encounter will reset the stopwatch to be 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then once you come back to the stop, you're going to re-encounter a new one. And then from 3:01, we came back at 4:38, which is after the 1 hour and 30 minute mark, and we re-encountered a 536 Absol. And then we came back at 6:07 and encountered a 514 Absol, and the other one was 536. And so on this one, I happened to just go ahead and catch it. The one thing I was testing on this one was just to make sure that the 514 was different than the original encounter, because on the old raid bosses, when you used to encounter it, you used to see a different CP sometimes, but after you would catch it, it would go back to the original CP. However, this one stayed 514, which holds weight for the entire theory that each encounter is going to reroll the CP, which is also going to reroll the shiny chance. So you guys better get out there and do this, because the original one that we encountered today was 548, and the last one that we caught was 514, meaning that all the ones that were re-encountered every hour and a half is going to serve justice. So throughout the day, we did a 548. We tracked back at 12:08, we had a 548, and then at 1:30, we had a 539, and then we came back at 2:11 for the 539, and then at 2:30, 539 again, came back at the 3 o'clock, and we got the 522, And then next we came back at 438 for the 536, and then finally at the 607, the one that we caught was going to be 514. So there's a bunch of different ones in here, but if we were to obviously see from all of them, the 548 was the highest that we had, which would be the highest IV potential. So I'm excited to see you guys get out there, put this into action, and get yourself a shiny shadow Pokemon. But make sure to do this quickly before it does get patched, because I do believe at some point, like I have been saying, it's going to get patched. So make sure to do this quickly, act on this fast. You can beat all 3 leaders, or even more than that, and have them all open throughout the day, and then go and check them throughout the day. So how do you put this into perspective and maximize it for yourself? What I would suggest doing is having a rocket radar saved up. In the morning, you're going to go ahead and beat one of the leaders. Then you're going to beat 6 more stops, beat another leader, beat 6 more, get another leader, and have them all open throughout the day and continually check. Theoretically, you could go and do this to every single rocket leader in your town and continually check them throughout the day, which would totally be the best way to utilize this, because you could then get potentials to re-roll all of these shiny potentials throughout the entire day if you have a day open. And since we're in the holidays, maybe you do have that time. So the rocket stops are going to reset every 1 hour and 30 minutes from the time that you re-encounter them. So it's very crucial that you have this set up, and to maximize, you are going to be setting an alarm. So very crucial. Hour and 30 minutes is going to be the time in between when this stop is going to reset. It's going to give you a new CP, and then it's going to give you the reroll for the shiny potential shadow Pokemon. There's a high possibility that this will get patched at some point, but until it does, make sure to take full advantage. Make sure to get out there, reroll all of your shadow Pokemon throughout the entire day. Try to get those shinies. Share this video with anybody else who's searching for the shiny shadow Pokemon, because I want you guys to get it. I want it myself. I can't wait to get one. I can't wait to share my wins. When this works for you, make sure to comment below and let me know, because this is definitely a real thing. But make sure to catch the shadow Pokemon before 10 p.m. to make sure you can at least get it if you didn't successfully get a shiny reroll throughout the day. So I appreciate you guys. Share this video. Make sure to like and comment and let me know what you guys think. And I appreciate all you guys, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, and Patreon members for taking your subscriptions to the next level. I'm gonna see you out on that next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.